Mike Moore Media.
I'm talking to Tammy Burbey, Human Services Coordinator with Rockingham County Youth Services. She is Vice President of the North Carolina Teen Courts Association, and that's really our topic for today. Hey, Tammy, how are you?
Good morning, Mike. I am well. Thank you, sir.
Well, I want to find out more. What is Teen Court?
So Teen Court has actually been a program in Rockingham County, specifically with Youth Services, for over 20 years. It is funded by the Juvenile Crime Prevention Council, funds from the North Carolina Department of Public Safety, and Rockingham County government.
Now, you said over 20 years. What does Teen Court do? What's it all about?
So Teen Court is an alternative program where first-time offenders who are ages 11 to 17 are sentenced by their peers for qualifying misdemeanors or traffic offenses. The youth defendants admit guilt and are held accountable for their actions. We currently accept referrals through school resource officers and juvenile justice for Teen Court and through the DA's office for traffic teen court. The youth defendant who successfully completes Teen Court will have learned through their constructive sentence the consequences of delinquent behavior. A Teen Court defendant who successfully completes their sentencing obligations will have their case dismissed without further court involvement. Constructive sentencing can include a variety of obligations, including community service and restitution, serving jury duty, participating in counseling, substance use prevention, conflict resolution, writing an apology letter to the victim, writing an essay on a specific topic related to their case, and anti-shoplifting packets for larceny cases.
Okay.
The youth defendant does have to agree to participate with Teen Court. If a youth defendant or their family prefer to go through the regular juvenile court system, they can decline the referral to Teen Court.
Okay. How does someone become a member of Teen Court? How does that work? Is this just high school students, perhaps?
So high school students, grades 9 through 12, are eligible to complete the mandatory Teen Court volunteer training, which is a 2-hour training. And for those who are interested in serving in the capacity of an attorney, that requires an additional 2 hours of training. The students must be in good standing with their school as far as grades and behavior. And youth defendants who have successfully completed their Teen Court sentencing obligations and have improved their status with their school can apply to become Teen Court volunteers.
Okay. Wow. 20 years. There have been a lot of success stories, I imagine, so we can maybe touch on that as well. But I'm wondering, how often does Teen Court meet to hear cases?
So Teen Court sessions are held on the second and fourth Monday of each month at the Rockingham County Courthouse, and it is a year-round program, so we don't take a break during summer.
Okay. How many cases typically will Teen Court see in a year?
So today, Teen Court has addressed 155 cases.
Wow, 155 cases. And that that will be heard over what length of time, Tammy?
So that number reflects the program's start of July 1st of 2022 to date. So our fiscal year ends June 30th. So we could potentially reach 200 cases.
Now, how does that compare to previous years? And is this something that all counties in our state have?
All counties in North Carolina do have Teen Court programs or some type of restitution, community service, or restorative type of justice programs, mostly funded through the JCPC or Juvenile Crime Prevention funds.
Okay. And looking at probably hitting that 200 mark by the end of June this current year, how does that compare maybe to previous years, Tammy? I don't want to put you on the spot, but do you have those numbers handy?
I don't have the exact numbers, Mike, but I can tell you that we have definitely seen an increase in our cases. We have seen a majority of those cases, unfortunately, are for vaping incidents at school. And so Rockingham County as a whole, we are really trying to tackle that particular problem in our county. The vaping has really impacted almost every school district.
Sure, yeah. So vaping right up there at the top. And I guess going back to a moment here, there have been in that span of time, 20 years, a lot of success stories and really making a difference in the lives of those students, hasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I can't comment on what other coordinators have done in the past, but from my knowledge, this has been a very sound program, one that is appreciated by most community members and elected officials because it helps keep the number of juvenile, the minor offenses for juveniles out of the juvenile court system, and that's what we're really trying to aim for, to keep these kids from having, going further into the juvenile court system.
Sure. Okay. Well, it's good that this program is in place, that's for sure. Well, looking at the future, what are some goals of teen court here in our county?
So we really hope to increase the number of teen court and traffic teen court referrals so that we can reach more youth defendants to offer them services to keep them from getting involved with juvenile court. We hope to increase the number of our teen youth volunteers so that they have the opportunity to get involved in their community, to gain experience in the criminal justice system, especially if these youth are interested in pursuing a career in criminal justice. This really gives them a foot in the door. And we hope to continue building and strengthening our relationship with local partners, including school resource officers and juvenile justice. And we hope to attend the mock trial competition on an annual basis, aiming for that first place.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. Well, first, congratulations. Let's talk about that mock trial. That's, understand the NCTCA, North Carolina Teen Courts Association, has the Teen Summit. That was recently held. That's in the spring in Atlantic Beach. Tell us what happened there.
Yes. So in March of 2023, this was the first time that Rockingham County Teen Court youth volunteers participated in the mock trial competition, and I was extremely proud of their performance and representation of Rockingham County. We had 7 youth who made up the team. We had 2 prosecuting attorneys, and those positions were held by Colby Gunter and Thomas Blackstock. We had 2 defense attorneys, Will Attaway and Cassie Brown. We had 1 clerk, Audrey Seiler, 1 defendant, Andrew Rash, and a bailiff, Mr. Isaiah Valdez.
How exciting to know that was the first time they had competed in this state, on that state level. What a good experience that was.
It really was. We were extremely proud of their performance. We did end up taking 3rd place for the state, so we were very happy with the outcome.
Yeah. Well, again, congratulations to everyone involved in that. Yeah. What about prepping for that? How long did everyone work on that and to put that together?
So in January, we held the first training session. In total, these particular youth had to dedicate an additional 8 hours of training and preparation for this competition. And we are so grateful for the assistance that we received from the Rockingham County Sheriff's Department, specifically Sergeant Tammy Ferguson and Deputy Richard Payne. From the DA's office, we had Assistant District Attorney Mike Davis, and from the Clerk of Court, Madam Clerk Angela Austin, who generously spent time training the youth in their respective duties.
Well, it's exciting to know that this is happening right here in Rockingham County, and that kind of hands-on experience that the people involved in teen court are getting. And I know you're proud of them, and I know you just said a little bit ago preparing maybe to do this again next year.
Absolutely, yes. We hope to make this an annual event. And some of the team who competed are already discussing and planning for Summit 2024.
Okay. So it's something that, and you said the extra hours, too, to prepare for that competition. So it sounds like a dedicated team, and they have a real passion to give back and to help. And I think that's just wonderful to see our youth involved. I know you've recently started a teen traffic court. Tell us about that.
So the teen traffic court is for youth aged 16 to 17 with minor traffic offenses. So the goal is to reduce their exposure to the adult district court system while providing them an opportunity to take responsibility for their actions. This is in partnership with the Rockingham County District Attorney's Office and the North Carolina Department of Public Safety. Through this program, the youth will not receive any type of court costs or fines. They do not have to pay for attorney fees. They have no cost for the defensive driving class. They will receive no points on their license and no insurance increase. So once they've successfully completed their constructive sentencing, the charges will ultimately be dismissed. And much like teen court, they are provided a constructive sentence, which will include for them the ELIVA 25 defensive driving course and a minimum of 350-word essay on what they learned from attending the ELIVA 25 class.
Mm-hmm. Well, just what you're saying, and when you talk about things like that, and maybe some, you mentioned a moment ago that vaping certainly an issue, but when you're getting into more serious things too, certainly making a difference in their lives and maybe saving lives, I imagine, too, in the long run, perhaps.
Absolutely, absolutely. So youth who complete the traffic teen court will have been given the tools to be safer and more thoughtful drivers, and this increases their safety on the road as well as road safety for the entire community.
Tammy, before we get away, you are vice president of the North Carolina Teen Courts Association. I understand that group meets 4 times a year, and you've got the next meeting coming up in July. Tell us a little bit about your involvement in that on the state level.
So the North Carolina Teen Court Association, the mission really is to be a bridge and a gateway, a connection, I guess, to other teen courts across North Carolina. We discuss issues that we're all currently having in our districts and ways that we can brainstorm to address these issues. We find presenters and speakers, experts in the field, to share information with us. We develop policy with the help of North Carolina Department of Public Safety so that we're really making the most impact for the youth across North Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Well, you just said a key word there, making the most impact for youth across our state and right here in Rockingham County with this program, Teen Court, that's been here in our county for over 20 years. If someone is listening, they need more information, what's the best way to get it, Tammy?
So, Mike, they can email me at tburbey, and that's Burbey, at co.rockingham.nc.us. They can call me at my office, and that's 336-342-5756, and I'm at extension 2809. And they can also watch for school announcements with information about upcoming teen court training opportunities.
Tammy, it's been great learning more about your involvement in teen court here in Rockingham County and the difference that that is making. Thank you so much, and we'll perhaps talk again sometime.
Thank you so much, Mike, for having me on, and I hope that this information has been useful and helpful to those who are listening.
Very, very informational and helpful indeed. Thank you again, Tammy. Have a good week.
Great. Thank you, sir. You too.
That's Tammy Burbey. She is Human Services Coordinator with Rockingham County Youth Services. their teen court, their traffic court, making a difference in the lives of so many young people right here in our county. And I'm Mike Moore. Thank you for listening.